Magandang araw po. Ngayon po ay May 31, 2022, Tuesday. Ito po si Benji Chidoro. Kung first time niyo po sa channel ko, ako po ay isang retired bank officer na nagsimula mag-invest sa Philippine stock market noong 2007 at ginagawa ko po ito araw-araw. I also report the latest news on your favorite and most active stocks. If you like the content, inimbitahan ko po kayo na mag-subscribe. And kung meron po kayong stocks na gustong ipa-review, paki-comment lang po sa comment box at aking pa-prioritize. Hindi po ako financial advisor. Anything I say in this channel ay hindi po financial advice. Ang ating news ay isang commentary on the Marcos economic team kasama ang ating financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading sa ating PSE ngayong araw, May 31, month-end 2022, dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Okay, tingnan po natin ang ating financial headlines mula sa BDO Securities. Marcos names BSP official as DBM chief. Ito po si BSP Assistant Governor Amena Pangandaman na mag-head ng Department of Budget and Management. BTR or the Bureau of Treasury rejects all bids for the 364-day T-bills. Pero ang benchmark 91-day T-bills ay 1.46% at yung 300 or 182-day is 1.81%. WSEM o ito yung wholesale electricity spot market. Prices drop as supplies improves in May. SEC royalties to the government surged 9 times year-on-year to 9.5 billion in first quarter of 2022. So these royalties would include those of mining and power. Converge open to new strategic investors. Kasi po nag-wind up na po itong si Warburg Pincus affiliate Coherent Cloud. Nag-withdraw na po as an investor and Converge is looking for new investors for their company. But our main news is actually not news but a commentary from Philstar. From Demand and Supply by Bu Cancho, ang title niya is Where is the Money? There is no doubt that Junior assembled an A-team of economic managers to help him manage our economy. It is just as well that he selected experienced and respected economic managers because there is no time to waste. There is no doubt, too, that his A-team will boost the confidence of the business and financial sector in the incoming administration. The selection also earned Junior some brownie points from skeptics because he didn't just pick old friends or supporters. The onus is now on these technocrats to prove that they are brave enough to stand their ground when politics interfere badly with their responsibilities. They shouldn't end up merely deodorizing the regime. They have to do better than the also respectable technocrats in the Marcos senior administration who said nothing when cronies plundered the economy. With Ben Jokno in finance, there will be a good continuity and familiarity with the problems at hand. Ben was Arab's and Duterte's budget secretary before becoming governor of the BSP. No learning curve needed on day one. Indeed, Ben should be familiar with the fiscal challenges he must face right away. Outgoing Finance Secretary Sonny Dominguez has called for fiscal consolidation and resource mobilization plan. Minus the bureaucratic gobbledygook, Secretary Sonny is saying that the new administration will have a money problem. Of course, they will. Duterte's borrowings, by Secretary Sonny's admission, brought our debt to higher levels than originally planned by 3.2 trillion pesos. The Bureau of Treasury has estimated the government needs to raise 249 billion every year in revenues to avoid resorting to borrowings to pay the 3.2 trillion additional debt incurred during the pandemic. As of end March, the national government debt stood at a record 12.68 trillion. Junior has to make sure his administration can continue to invest in infrastructure, education, and healthcare for economic growth and recovery. According to Secretary Sani, Junior has the choice of covering existing debt by borrowing more or reducing spending by 249 billion each year, or he can raise taxes. Improving tax administration and cutting unnecessary spending with fiscal reforms are easier said than done. Secretary Sani is suggesting, among others, the expansion of the value-added tax base. That probably means senior citizens and those with disabilities will no longer enjoy VAT exemption. New sin taxes on tobacco and sweetened beverages are also proposed. The DOF also proposed increasing petroleum tax by 1 peso a liter for a minimum of 3 years, imposing excise tax on domestic coal and increasing excise tax on domestic and imported coal. Given current high oil prices, the government imposing another peso per liter is not going to go well with everybody. Secretary Sani warned that failure to implement new tax measures would also lead to unsustainable deficit and debt levels, which in turn would cause slower growth and eventually an economic crisis. Dominguez warns we cannot borrow more to pay our debt because with a higher debt level, we may lose our investor credit rating. Actually, tama si Dominguez doon. Ha? We cannot cut spending because we will risk our economic recovery and sacrifice key socio-economic priorities, notably in infrastructure, education, healthcare, among others. But incoming Finance Secretary Ben Jokno doesn't think we need to impose new taxes. To me, grow the economy, focus on tax administration first, and improve collection, said Jokno. Jokno also isn't too worried about the level of debt he will inherit. Representative Joey Salceda agrees with Jokno that tax leakages must be addressed first before imposing new taxes. The first year of Marcos' administration can also be devoted to streamlining tax collection, improving tax administration, and making tax compliance easier. Here are Salceda's proposals. First, fiscal protection. We need to make sure we do no further harm to our finances by preventing any wasteful spending and plugging loopholes in the tax system. Second, fiscal consolidation. We need to strengthen the current tax structure with stronger and more modern tax administration. That will also involve some tax policy reforms in the low-hanging areas, and the easiest being real property valuation reform, some easy VAT reforms like those on input VAT over declaration of temporary deferral of PIT or personal income tax reduction in 2023. But whatever course of action the new administration takes, they will have limited resources for the rest of the year. Eventually, they will raise revenues by selling assets like the NAIA, but that will have to wait for one of the new airports to be up and running first. For new infrastructure, they will have to review the new PPP rules that killed the interest from the private sector investors. RC Balisacan, the incoming NEDA chief, has expressed support for PPP, and so did Manny Banoan, who will take over DPWH. It is hoped Junior will appoint competent and experienced secretaries for energy and DICT. He should learn from our sad experience when Duterte appointed washed-out politicians who had no experience in both sectors for these two positions. We are facing a crisis in power supply, and we are facing catch-up in information and communications technology. Junior will find out he will have to work like he never had all his life. It will be a big chance from his lifestyle the past many years. It helps he selected competent economic managers to help him, but in the end, the buck stops with him. And we will not even talk about the impact of potential international economic recession. The most important question Junior must resolve is, where will he get the money? Yan po ang magandang piece from Demand and Supply by Bu Cancho. Where is the money? Okay, so let's now go to the Philippine Stock Exchange and the Philippine Stock Exchange Index on what transpired today. Okay, let's put up our indicators. The PSEI index lost 47.68 points or 0.70% down. Nasa 6774.68. Mukhang nag-profit taking lang siya from yesterday's activity. So, yung RSI po niya ay nasa 50.94. It's on the midpoint but a bit on the high side. In the meantime, yung ating market activity naman, 113 companies declined, 76 advanced, while 48 remained unchanged. The all-share index also dropped 0.72%. On the sectoral indices, the financials and mining registered positive results, while the holding companies, industrials, properties, and services were down. So we will be reviewing the most active stocks. Let's review the two stocks in the news today. That's SCC, Converge. Then let's do MONDE, BDO, and ACEN. We haven't done ACEN for a while. Okay, so let's start with SCC. Okay, SCC ended in the red today, losing 50 centavos, though pataas pa rin po ang kanyang trend, with the EMA 50 acting as support. I'm sorry, the EMA 100 is acting as support at 27.38. So if you'll notice here, nag-hold po yung support dito, So yung black line, which is our 100-day exponential average, yan po ang pinaka-support po natin. At yung ating pinaka-resistance ay pwede po nating ilagay dito sa area to. Resistance level na po itong area na 33 pesos. So nasa 33 to 34 pesos po yung pinaka-resistance level niya. In the meantime, nasa 61.98 ang ating RSI, which would make the stock bullish. And then let's see Converge. Naghahanap po ito ng investor, So just moving sideways, but it's more on the bearish part. Yung ating support nandito po sa 25.77, but if you notice yung candlestick niya ngayon, which gained 45 centavos, had a lot of volume. So Converge kasi is the most active stock today. So nasa 25.77 po ang pinaka-support, while the resistance is here, nasa 31 to 32 pesos po ang pinaka-resistance niya. Yung kanyang RSI ay nasa 44 on the bearish side. So sideways to bearish po ang movement ni Converge. And then si MONDE naman. Si MONDE ay bumagsak si MONDE, nag-profit taking siya. Meron kayang news ito? Wala naman, So it's just probably market sentiment, but I don't know what's causing this, It's two red candlesticks and it's a significant drop, 6.33%. Okay, meron naman po siyang earnings kasi po starting here, nag-crossover na po kasi yung short term to the medium term, indicating a bullish movement. Pero, yung red candlestick ngayon would negate that trend, ano? Kasi napakalaking drop po ito, 6.33. Yesterday's drop was 5.28. And the RSI dropped from being oversold to just 49, ano? Gumitla lang po siya. Okay? So right now, it's probably, well, speaking of it technically, no, the oversold level, yung reversal po niya napakabilis, no? So, in 2 days time, bumagsak po siya ng more than 10%. Yan po ang aking masasabi dito kay MONDE. And now, the RSI is just below or just about in the middle. So, MONDE, hindi ko po alam kung saan pupunta ito, but the two red candlesticks would indicate a movement to the downside or to a lower price. Yan, movement to a lower price po itong dalawang red candlestick nito. Kasi napaka-significant po ng baba. And I wouldn't know what's causing it at this point. Okay? Tapos po si BDO. Si BDO naman is 3 successive green candlesticks po ito, no? And the candlestick that we had now is 2.54% yung increase niya with volume. And I would expect that there will be an upward movement on the stock since this is a breakout. Yung 2.54% or a 330 increase is a breakout. Kasi po above average po yung volume niya plus yung previous resistance niya. Actually, nandito po, no? Nakita po yung previous resistance niya. Dito po yung previous support. The resistance is here. Support and resistance. Yung dalawang candlestick po dito forming a resistance. So, na-break po niya, no? So, ibig sabihin po ay breakout po ito. Okay, meron pa siyang dividend payment 30 centavos. And may special dividends po siya ng 1 peso payable today, no? May 31. So, it's a breakout. Our candlestick is just showing sideways pero lagging indicator po yan. So, RSI from a bearish 39 noong May 26, ngayon po ay bullish na po siya, 59.27. Dahil yung moving averages po natin ay pumailalim po sa candlestick. Ang next resistance level nandito po sa area to. Dito po sa 135.03. Finally, we have ACEN or ACEN. Bearish po si ACEN dahil po yung ating mga candlesticks or yung mga indicators po natin ay pababa. RSI is also bearish 46, though nearer the midpoint. So the general movement is down dahil naka-line up po yung ating mga short, medium, and long-term indicators. And the short-term indicator is above or nearest the candlestick, followed by the medium and the long-term. So if we will draw a parallel channel, our resistance follows the 50-day exponential at 787, while the support is here at 589. So that's ACEN, and that's what I think. The stock is moving downwards, but maganda naman po yung mga reports ni ACEN. May dividend siya dito, pero nabigay na po to 6 centavos. Maganda naman po yung earnings niya, pati yung first quarter, kumikita naman po, except that it's lower than the previous year's first quarter. Okay, so yan po ang ating report sa stock market. Ika-31 ng Mayo, katapusan ng buwan. Ito po si Benji Chodoro nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Get well soon, Mari. And Tito Sam, we're praying for you both. Love your country, give our new leaders a chance, but continue to do what is good, right, and just. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik. Hanggang sa muli, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.